Greetings, you sexy bastards. I'm back in Monterey of California, doing things, getting things done, checking things out. It's been a chill couple of days, just kind of hanging out, playing some video games, resetting, I guess. But I've been in a pretty undisciplined state lately. I feel like I say this a lot. And it's time to get back into that disciplined state. I think I've talked about this before. All I'm gonna do is go through that transitional phase where I just start doing hard things, pushing myself, kind of embrace that discomfort until I get back into that rhythm. So this morning I got up early, even though I was up to like 1 a.m. and went out, did a run on the beach, hopped in the ocean. I'll be honest, when I was walking back from that ocean, I wanted so bad to not, or when I was walking after my run back to the spot where I was going to jump in the ocean, it felt impossible. The thought of getting in the ocean, I've done it 100 times. It never gets easier. Sometimes it's easier, but this was not one of those mornings. It was cold. It was, as you can see, super foggy, foggier than that, kind of windy, quite windy actually. I was tired. And I just couldn't really see myself jumping in the ocean, but I committed to it because I was like, hey, I told myself I'm going to do it. I had like at least 10 excuses in my mind, but I didn't, and it felt so good. The second I got in there, I was like, oh my God, I did another dip in there after I like got in there the first time because it felt so freaking good. And then I came back here, I got some coffee, and we're off to the races. So some things that I got going on. This is kind of online business oriented. Father in construction. I'm sure I've talked about this before, hence why I work construction over the summers. Though this is my first summer not working construction, which means I'm going to have to find new and creative ways to kind of reset myself, build discipline. Each summer when I do work construction, having, a couple of weeks or a couple of months where I'm spending 8 hours a day just like with my thoughts and doing construction, doing manual labor. It's a good reset. It's a good decompression, and I'm not going to have that this time. But I think I have some ideas. One is my friend and I are going to carry a bunch of heavy objects up a mountain for a day. I think that'll be a good experience. I could find somewhere to dig some holes, chop some trees down. Anything like that will do. I think hole digging is always a good time. Although tree chopping is pretty solid too. Anyway, today I'm going to the office to look through a bunch of data regarding project proposals in order to understand how project proposals in construction work, what that input output looks like, and then what that process of turning that input to an output looks like. And I say this I say it like that because I'm trying to, I guess, approach this in a way that allows me to understand it in such a way that I can turn it into an LLM application. So basically the goal of this is going to be to look at these things and develop some kind of software that helps with that process to make that process much shorter, if that's possible. And if not, I'm going to look around and see what other ways we can maybe work AI into the company processes. So that's the plan. Sister is going to show me how many of these things work. That's Sister calling right now. I'll call her back right after this. I did another video. It was like an intro vid, but I'm going to summarize what I talked about there because I kind of rambled. Basically, what I was talking about in this intro video was I traveled here 2 days ago, got on the plane, flew over, took an Uber. I met the Uber driver. I just wanted to talk about these guys' stories that I met during my travels and talk about the value of small talk. So first off, their stories. I got into the Uber driver's car and I was like, I kind of just want to sit there, get my work done, not really be social, not really talk, do some coding because I'm Mr. Business and I want to get things done, take advantage of every moment. But I don't know, I just kind of started talking to him and he was pretty responsive. So we got into a good conversation and it turned out this guy was from Turkey. ISIS was like after him, not just like ISIS is after a bunch of people, but they kept finding him. He would move and then they would come and get him. And he was like, come and try to kill him and his family. And he was like, I'm pretty sure the government like blacklisted me. All right, I got to take this call. We'll get back to this.